There are so many people available to you who can be resources to you.
It's a much larger group, so you get a lot more information.
As a voluntary, not-for-profit initiative.
Your needs and meet them by finding the right place in the right environment.
Now the next of our speakers will be the final in this particular session, and then we will invite all on stage for the section where you will also be participants, where you will be able to direct questions. If you have them written, send them over or hand them over to one of the volunteers. We will collect them over here so that in due course then we can bring them up. So if you've already got some questions, that's super. Our next speaker is also with a background in chemistry from the University of British Columbia in Canada, and also did her master's in public administration from Ohio State in the USA. And she currently serves as a member of the Standing Committee on Tertiary and Technical Education at the National Education Commission, NEC, and is also Human Resource Committee of the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce, and advises the Minister of Education with regard to the Eastern Province. So she's an excellent person to have with us as one of our panelists, because she is in education and advises, helps to shape how things unfold in the future. And she's the Director General of the Tertiary and Vocational Education Commission of Sri Lanka. Now, she's currently the team leader of the Human Capital Research Program known as Learn Asia. An ongoing program is done in conjunction with Vijaya newspapers to publish a series of education guides for school leavers, and she's come to the right spot. Here we are with Dr. Sujatha Gamage, and we'd like to invite you now.
Undergraduate education, that's what you have come here for. So you've been, as we speak here, we have some little tots doing the grade 5 scholarship exam. And then they do the O-levels. And then you'll be studying, some of them for the second time, third time for the A-levels. So you want to study some more? Seriously? Well, actually if you do, I'd like you to think a little bit beyond undergraduate education, and I like to, in the context of full tertiary education landscape. See, I was in the university system all my life. Then I was in the US, then when I came back, I had the chance to serve as a Director General of Tertiary and Vocational Education. That really opened my eyes to a different world. We talk about 20,000 who are trying to go to the university, who go to the universities, but there's lots happening out there. And it's not only vocational level. Vocational is, there's no real definition. Vocational is known as blue collar. That's, nobody dares to say that, but it's blue collar. And then you have professional, which is white collar. In the vocational and professional world, I mean, it's amazing what's out there. And so many of us don't think about it, don't know about it. So I'm going to talk about higher education, which is, you know, what all your aunts want to do, uncles, your parents want to do, university. But I like to do, just briefly, put things in the context of, you know, the big picture, the tertiary education system. But before I go do that, you know, I asked you, you know, you've been studying and studying. So what are you doing now that the exams are over? You talked about experience. How much experience have you had? You know, take the time. These days, for some reason, out of necessity and for out of experience, I've been taking a lot of bus rides from Park. Take the overnight bus. Once I took the public bus. It's experience. You know, they just play musical shows from Nellore all night long whilst we're traveling, trying to sleep. But, you know, take a bus ride. We have buses all over, running all over the country. Route number 6 goes from Colombo to Balangoda, Ratnapura, Balangoda, and then to Batticlow. Just follow that route. We did that when I was young, we did that sometimes. Just pack something, you know, a few clothes, piece of soap, toothbrush. I learned, you know, you don't need toothpaste. I always forget to pack. Piece of soap, toothbrush, and towel. And a very small towel, not those plush towels, because they take too much. Just travel, take a bus. Go around the country. It's an amazing country, there's so much to say. But there are so many girls. You have a problem about traveling? Luckily for me, when I left university, I was already had a boyfriend and we soon married because that's the only way to travel in Sri Lanka. 2 girls can't travel. So find a boyfriend and get married, or I don't know. Just find a friend. You can always travel safely. You know, there's always friends and family all over the country. But do take the time and travel and get the experience. And the second thing is reading. You know, I'm not going to ask you how many of you read something in the last, something that doesn't have to do with your subjects. Because you don't. I'm not going to ask you and embarrass you. Start reading. You know, because I just gave some nice biographies, but let me tell you a secret. Start with, if you're a girl, start with Mankani Bolanda Premkatha. Start with cheap romances. That's the best way. I read, must have said, hundreds of them. Okay, please go and get the cheapest romance possible. Start reading. That's the only way you improve your English, get the colloquial English, and actually, of course, read 100 pulp fiction and you read 1 classic, you learn more. That's true. But reading is the way we expand our experience. We get to know about other characters. Start with pulp fiction, please. Pulp romance. Bolada Prem Katha. Pirivula mai monada kiyawanne? Marak Katha. Ne? Mandan. Marak Katha. Patan ganna. Patan ganna kiyawanne. Kiyawanne නැතුව නම් වැඩක් නැහැ. අපේ ළමයි කියවන්නෙම නැහැ. මම මේක දන්නවා. Nobody reads. You go to the book exhibition, international book exhibitions, full with computer science books, commerce books. Nobody reads for fun. Please read for fun. That's all. Travel and read for fun. And don't come to any more of this conference, but first just go and get some experience. This is the last and the first one. Okay. So I'll talk a little bit about myself as we speak. 3 starting points. I think we're all at 3 starting points. One is decided and motivated. I knew one girl, she was just 16. I was talking to her. She's a friend from Canada. She plays the piano, and she wants to go to university so that she can help disabled children get better through music. I mean, she's focused. And I met her many years ago. Yes, she was doing a postgraduate in education, and that's exactly what she was doing. How many of us are here? I don't think many of us are here, and I don't think many of us should be at this age. How would you? But some people are lucky enough to do that. So there are those of us that way. Not decided, but motivated. That's me. People are not decided for various reasons. Me, because I want to do everything. You know, in grade 8, you're asked to choose between, I had to drop physics, geography and history. I really missed it, literature. Then at some point you drop bioscience or physical science. That was also hard. So every step, you know, some of us We want to do everything. So it's very hard for some of us. But don't despair. As somebody was saying, I think Sanjay was saying, and I think Yonajit was saying, you know, do whatever you do, stick with it. And do that, but try to find openings at every stage. Because I can tell you, I look back and I'm always thinking, gosh, the last 10 years were the best years in my life. Because the more you get older, you know, you find that you can really now really do everything you want. Look at the world in a big picture. So you get the chance. Don't worry, life is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So some of us are here, that's okay, but then some of us are not decided, not motivated. Believe me, there are a lot of those. We've been publishing this series in Vijay newspapers, and its parents were calling, and they want to know the telephone number for that. I said, get your child to look up, go on the internet, and find these things. Because the first part in education is finding the information, sorting through the information, and then selecting the right information. Begin it right now. SLT College is helping you, but just go out and do it yourself. Go to the website. You know, there are these volunteers. Call them if you're desperate. But that's your education begins there. Looking for information, sorting and through all the riffraff and picking the right thing, and then applying it. So the point is, it doesn't matter where you are. I'm sure, I don't know, pretty much maybe most are in third place, second place, I don't know. But the point is, good news is all three are okay. Because you're young, right? All three are okay. You have the advantage of being young. I have one motto, never pick a quarrel with a person younger than you, because they outlive you. My children, you're always very careful, because these are the guys who are going to change your diapers and, you know, bury you. So you don't pick quarrels. You're young, so you have that advantage. You better tell your parents that too. So choices, I like to look at, this is something I learned, I was just talking to my neighbor when I was living in the US. We were just watching our children, and her son, actually he loved acting. That's the only thing he loved. But she said, you know, she's a very practical lady. These women are very practical. But she said, you know, there's a college for every child. That is an advanced society. That is a developed country. There's a choice for every child, every pocketbook, at any point in one's life. At any point. That is a civilized society. You know, it used to be a time. Schooling Hashanakal, you know, University Netta. Now we have so many choices. You know, I know there are some, the introduction, it says, you know, we have all these institutions, they're out to make money. But actually, you know, in some ways, I think it's a what you call frontier, education frontier. In the frontier, you're going to get robber barons, all kinds of people. We need them. You know, it will settle down. It will settle down. So it's your job. Don't blame them. It's your job to go there and get the right information. But we got, luckily for us, I think we're getting there to a better society where every child, there's an opportunity, choices for every child, every pocketbook at any point in one's life. You know, it doesn't matter. Your pocketbook is only to go to a 2-year community college in the US. I know people personally who's been to a community college and then gone on to the 4-year college, and somebody who went to an Ivy League school, and guess who did better? The kid who went to community college. So, you know, just because you get into Ivy League doesn't mean you are going to do it. Again, life is a sprint, not a sprint. It's a marathon. So it doesn't matter. Find what fits your pocketbook, and at any point in one's life. Gosh, if you want to take a time off and decide, I'm going to cover every major route in this country and every other B route in this country, do that. You'll be much more richer for that experience. 3 tracks. You know, we have the academic track. That's all we know, right? O-level, A-level, university. But then we have the vocational, professional. I briefly talked about it. It's big. We've been just doing the research, you know, there's 25 plus professional associations that give their own qualifications. And there are a lot of fields where actually you have to start work and it makes sense only if you earn your credentials while you work. Logistics, travel and tourism industries like that, logistics, marine services, aviation, there are a lot of services, except for engineering. If you want some you need some firm grounding in engineering or math, but then you are better off starting with a degree. But there are a lot of opportunities where on the job is where learning happens. An interesting thing is, and combinations of above. I have a nice diagram, actually. I've been working on it since I was in the TVC, tertiary and vocational. 3 parts. One academic, one on the job is a mirror, and the other one is vocational and professional. And you can weave in and out of that. Believe me, lots of people have done. People have done to Ceylon Hotel School, start as a room boy and work their way up, do the hotel school diploma, work for 10 years, and then did the masters at the PIM, Postgraduate Institute of Management, and now director of the company. That's my brother. He played cricket for school, and he did bioscience. Of course, you do bioscience to become a doctor. Doesn't matter what your aptitude, doesn't matter what your attitude, you think you become a doctor. He too thought that, then he went to hotel school, and he's a top hotelier. So he never went through, it's actually a very legitimate track to skip the bachelor's altogether, do a diploma, work, and then do a master's. So many people have done that. So there are many options. I really encourage you, just at every stage, every year, now people can start think, okay, maybe I go back to work and maybe catch up later. So there are these options. They are still being developed here, like in hotel industry, they are actually pretty well developed. I had gone way back. Yeah. So then what do you select? What do you do? This is some of the things I said we did 26 features for Education Times. Actually, we did not do that because they found it was taking space away from the editorials. So, but we've been running the features in other newspapers every Wednesday. So these are the kinds of things you can do. So many things. So, I mean, commerce, I sorted them into the kind of streams that you guys are forced into. Commerce stream, computer science and IT, then science, engineering, technology, health, and the interesting one is the other. Architecture maybe belong a little bit to science and technology, but aviation, design, development, education, fisheries, hospitality, that's a wide sector. Humanities, sciences, languages, law, marine services. There are 2 professional associations that give their own credentials. And there are charters that you can, you do a certain number of their courses and then you complete certain number of days, certain number of years of work, and then you get a charter, international charter. So that's a professional path. And sports, travel and tourism, performing arts, media, there's always so many opportunities. So there's such a diversity of opportunities. But let's talk about higher education. You all want to go to university, that's fine. If you want to follow the straight track, but remember, without experience, you are not going to be much use for an employer later. We interviewed so many people recently, and one girl struck out because I had to pull it out of her, but she had started growing mushrooms at home, and she was actually supplying to the nearby supermarket. She did not tell me that. I had to ease it out of her, and we hired her because everybody has a degree. They've all done the same paper. It's agriculture versions. There are so many agriculture graduates that have done the same paper, different versions, different concentrations, different something, same paper, same language. How do you pick somebody? To stand out, that's where you need the experience. Right, I spent 3 months traveling all over the country, just with my things in a paper bag. That's impressive. So the experience, you need that. But selecting university, put some attention. If you can, if your parents can pay for it, or if you get selected to the public university, then yes, by all means, go ahead. 2 attributes. Now, we have so many options. There are about 50 plus private universities offering, mostly all of them offering degrees from outside. So how do we tell which one is which? Ideally, how much more time do we have? 5 minutes? 3 minutes. Ideally, yeah, I can actually finish it. Ideally, you would have a ranking system, but we don't have enough to be ranked. This is a small country. How do you rank people? People get upset. Okay? They start abusing you on the internet. So it's very difficult. We can't do ranking. They're not ready. And it's not fair to rank them. I don't like ranking them because it's a frontier. They have to respect these guys. They don't get nothing from the government. SLEET is the only non-profit education institution we have. That's because they got money and land and building from the government. You can't run a non-profit. Don't expect people not to make money. They have to make money. But it's your job to find that they make money, you pay money, but you get what you need. So one thing is the legitimacy of the board of study. Make sure, ask them, what's on the certificate? Okay, fine. What's going to be on the final certificate? And a lot of University of London degrees, sometimes on the certificate say external degree. That's fine actually. It's external degrees. Now we've hired so many external degree people who have studied in local institutions with the University of London. They're fine. But know what you're getting. It's not an internal degree, it's an external degree. Ask for the certificate. Tell them, go visit these institutions. They're not far. Just go visit each one and ask to see the certificate. What exactly is the board of study? And the other one is, yes, and some are actually, we can't have individual institutions can't be degree awarding institutions in Sri Lanka unless they are empowered so by Act of Parliament. But each degree can be approved by the UGC, each degree. So sometimes a degree is approved by the Aquinas University, has some degrees approved, and so on. So make sure that is accredited for purpose. And if you're doing a diploma, make sure that they're registered with the Tertiary and Vocational Education Commission. Ask them. Anybody other than anybody offering degrees, they have to be registered. It's not that registration is a very low barrier, but at least that tells you that somebody's checking that. So those two that check that. Second, track record of the institution. That's something, you don't want to pay something, enroll and do 2 years of courses and find that they're closing shop. It's not happened actually, they have been pretty good, but ask for the track record. That's not to sort of dissuade you from joining new institutions, but go to the institution and you can see that whether they're going to stay there for a while. But track record is ask them how many they graduated the previous year and ask whether you can talk to some of the students and ask them where they place the students. So right now in Sri Lanka actually, these are pretty much the two things that we can do. Unfortunately, our government is not doing the regulation that they should. In some ways it's better. Sometimes bad regulation, no regulation is better than bad regulation. So right now we are on our own. There are so many opportunities, but you have to be smart and find the information, but look for these two basic things. I think I have, we did a lot of, I have my research, but I will not go into that because I think we all now want to get back here and hear from you all. Okay, I think I'll stop here. Thank you.